Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. It is Carla Moore from MooreTalkJa. A lot of people have asked me to talk about what happened at UTECH. And at first, I was of two minds about it because I couldn't figure out what exactly I would even say. Aside from saying that that's wrong and I'm very angry about it, what else is there going to say? After you said that, what is the productivity of that? You're angry, and then what? Right? But then I said, you know what? I actually need to say something about this because very often homophobic people get a lot of space on the internet, in the newspapers, on TV to talk and talk and talk. And people who are not homophobic or actually in support of homosexuals don't say anything because they're afraid of either being labeled gay, they're afraid that people are going to accuse them of being possessed by a demon or somehow to do iniquity or a part of a Babylonian system to stop black people reproducing so that white people can dominate the race, blah, 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 any number of things. So they don't say anything because they don't want that type of strife in their life. Well, this is my channel to talk about whatever I want to talk about. This is how I feel, and so I'm going to claim some space and talk about it now. So if you're watching this video so that you can figure out the best way to write some foolishness on that, I will delete it and I will flag it as spam. And if anything, we'll just withhold comments entirely because homophobic people get enough space to talk. One of those spaces will not be under my video. And don't bother tweet me neither because I'm going to answer you. Now, supposedly, two boys were caught having sex in a bathroom at UTECH. The mob come down on them. The fast one did sprint away and get where the slow one was taken over by the security, who supposedly were supposed to protect him. And then we have the security on camera beating the boy for 3 minutes while the people who go to UTECH are outside chanting and singing that they want the boy and him while the security gets all the fun and all of them type of something there. Okay, fine. First thing, I don't know how your mob mentality works, but usually when a mob come down on you, they don't give you the time to extricate yourself from whatever sexual position that you're in before them start beat you. So the fact that this boy appears on camera fully clothed would seem to imply that he was not really having sex in the bathroom. Now, I cannot say that the boy was not fraternizing with another man in the bathroom, but let's just get this out of the way that the boy was having sex in the bathroom. Next thing, if the boy is fraternizing with another man in the bathroom, how is that any of your business? Let me ask you something. Is it your penis? Is it your bottom? Is it even your hand to touch any of those places on another man? No. Therefore, I don't think that it is something that you need to deal with. What is the name of the company? Let me make sure I write it down. Marksman fired the man. Wow, thank you, Marksman. It is big of you to actually acknowledge that having your security guard publicly abuse somebody that they were supposed to be taken care of is a problem. However, you have fired this man who will probably just go off and find a job in another company, probably another security company because he hate Batman and that is what the security company is looking for. However, this young man that your security guard has put on display and publicly shamed has to deal with that fact. He cannot go back to UTECH because of what happened. He cannot go, his face probably reached his family before him reached his family to even tell him what happened because he faced it all over YouTube because everybody upload everything. And you beat up the boy, like you lick him, like you cause the man pain and shame and all of them something there. This man's life has changed forever. This security has simply lost his job. To fire that security guard, I feel like maybe you're underestimating what exactly is needed from you in this situation. But thank you for taking away his minimum wage. Next thing. Homophobia. Why is Jamaica so homophobic? So that is the big question here, right? The big issue that is happening here is why are Jamaicans so homophobic? And it's a question that I come upon a lot, especially that I'm in a university overseas. And the one thing that people know about you is that, well, the two things they know is that A, you smoke weed, and B, you're homophobic. Why is Jamaica so homophobic? I don't think Jamaicans stop to think about why it is they think that they hate Batman. I don't think they even stop to think about that. They somehow have decided that being homophobic is equal to being Jamaican. And you see it especially in Jamaicans overseas who, while their accent may fade, they will stop eating ackee and saltfish. They will stop listening to Jamaican music and start listening to some indie, whatever. The one thing they will maintain is that they are homophobic, and that is because they are Jamaican. Homophobia and Jamaica, they're not joined like this. There's nothing on the flag that says Bon Batman. That is something that we have constructed for ourselves and something that we keep on playing out. It is not fundamentally Jamaican. But Jamaicans don't stop and think about why it is they're homophobic and how much that is tied up in what the gay man represents to them. And by this, I don't mean even an iniquity, and how much that has to do with the power that they do not have in their own lives. First thing, Jamaicans have been taught that homosexuality is somehow un-African. that black people don't do gay. Gayness is somehow whiteness, and it's a nasty thing that colonizers brought here with them from their foreign lands. Okay, well, in much the same way, you can look at all of the music forms and all of the language forms and all of the things that they have in Africa and lament that you have lost contact with those things because they took them from you when they carried you across the water. Why would you not stop to think that maybe a variety of sexual expressions were taken from you at the same time? You have somehow decided that homosexuality is some type of colonial thing, and that by being homosexual, you're saying that Backa Massa was alright. By being homophobic, you are embodying more of Backa Massa than anything. Do you know why you're homophobic? You're homophobic because back in the day of slavery, white men would use sodomy to control black men. Therefore, any positive relationship that black men had to same-sex expression, they lost it because it was something that was used to hurt them. Now, every time a black man thinks about homosexuality, they think about one man submitting to another man, and he cannot take that idea because black men already don't have enough power. But when are you going to stop and interrogate why you're homophobic instead of acting like it is the law? Okay, when it is that black men got free as slaves, they made the decision that at no point ever would they ever be in a position where they were subservient to white men, because for a long time white men call them boy, white men tell them, say them a little dibby compared and blah blah, but they were not real men. So in order to prove that they were real men, they had to take anything that was feminine away from themselves, that being women and homosexual men. But men automatically feel that they control women anyway, so that's not a problem. A man controlling another man, that is an issue. So boom, so come the end of slavery, more homophobia. Jamaica get independence in 1962. The country is in a position in relation to Britain where once again the country coming like a little boy coming to Britain who is a big man. We have to masculinize the country again. Once again, woman and batty man, that is who have to make sure say you're in control of them something in the country for sure, so the country strong, and we now no play. No girl now run me now bathe with my mother rag, and batty man can't live around here. But you don't stop to think about how all of those things link back to this pain that was inflicted upon you back on the plantation. And how you need to deal with the reality of that before you just get up and decide that all batty man evil. Because there are a variety of sexual expressions in African cultures that you don't know about. So one of the reasons Jamaicans are so homophobic is that, but they refuse to interrogate it, and that's why they are so ass backward right now. Next thing, Jamaicans will tell you that no. Them they are foreign things. I wouldn't allow them something around here. Because you see how foreign around you, them have money, them have big car, them have house, but them the batty man, them around with everything. Yo, that could have never go on. Yo, we probably poor, and we black, and we not have no money, but we could have never met batty man get out with all of them something there. Do you have a problem with the gay man, or do you have a problem with North America that you think embodies all of the things that the gay man represents? Because the gay man represents the other, the gay man represents foreign, so you need to control the gay man. The gay man represents the gay man. That's all he represents. He does not represent anything else but his goddamn selves. And once again, because you have taught that it's un-African to be gay, this man represents all of the things. Beating a batty man will not make you better than the United States of America. It's not going to change the fact that you are black. It's not going to change the fact that our economy is failing. It's not going to change the fact that we're about to enter new slavery with this IMF agreement. All it means is that you have made it difficult for another Jamaican to live here. Another Jamaican who, if they stayed in this country instead of going abroad, could actually contribute to the development of the nation, but you have made it so he does not want to live here. Some of your best and your brightness are filing for refugee status elsewhere because you won't stand up beside them. Religious. Jamaicans are homophobic because they're extremely religious. Well, I find that your application of the Bible is very selective, because there are a lot of things that are going on in Jamaica, if only because every man gets to have two women, that according to how the Bible set it out, that is not supposed to happen. Uno a murder, uno a thief, uno a loss, uno a covet. And we know that the blood of God is upon, of Jesus is upon them, but there are all heap of things that in the 10 Commandments where God tells you specifically that they're them something here. But you're allowing people to do those things, and you're deciding this is the one thing you're going to stick by. Let me tell you something. If you're going to take the religious argument to explain why it is that you're homophobic and why you feel like you're entitled to beat a batty man, then I'm going to need you to live by every rule in that book. And the minute that you actually decide that you're going to live by the rules of the Bible, you will realize that you can minister to a person but you cannot beat a person. You cannot use violence to bring a person over to the light side or the right side or the Christian side of anything. And anybody who wants to question me on this, I am a Christian, I read my Bible, and you don't need to ask me no question about that or try to undermine my Christianity because I'm saying what I'm saying. If you're about to type that, leave. Next thing. People are offended or wonder why it is that this would happen at UTECH. And I see a lot of people trying to navigate the fact that, well, it was the security guard that did it at UTECH, so I guess he wasn't a UTECH student, so it's kind of different. But then you do hear the UTECH students say, send out the man, why do you feel that all on would have this fun? And people somehow feel that because there are university students, they're intellectuals, so they should automatically be more understanding of difference. That is why students at UTECH and UE might tend to be more homophobic than probably in some of the man them in the ghetto. It is because by going to university, you are automatically assumed. Actually, there's a big stigma because people have it say upper UE and UTECH, the whole of the bottom man them up their head. So if a boy goes into UE or UTECH, the onus is on him to make sure people don't feel he's one of those bottom men that he knows is up there. So he has to constantly perform this homophobia to make sure that everybody knows he doesn't stand for that. So his homophobia is not necessarily about hating gay men. It's about proving to people that he's not a gay man, because being an intellectual is somehow soft and it's something that is actually going to work against him. So there is a reason that these boys are going to be more homophobic than other people. It's because when you see a man a walk towards you and him have on some cut off jean pants and marina with tear up, a ragga hang out and back pocket, him face bleach up and like him ear just look like him never even bother try go, you are going to assume that that man is a bad man and automatically assume that man is somehow not a batty man. When a boy come walking towards you in a suit and a tie or like a tie and a shirt or anything like that, you ask this man why you do, oh me I do a econ major, oh me over there I do architecture or something like that, that man is not a bad man anymore. And from you're not a bad man, it's much easier for people to assume that you're a batty man. So the job is yours to prove that you're not that thing. And that is why all of these boys are going to rush down on this man, because if you are a straight man on that campus, you hear that there's opportunity to beat a batty man and you don't take it, people are going to say, but you must be a batty man as well. Yo, my ears up them up the wall of the batty man, them are hiding up. Boom, so everything just gone bad for you. So stop assuming that because people are academics that they are not going to be homophobic. No, they are probably going to feel more pressure to perform homophobia because they're academics. Simple as that. What is the usefulness of homophobia? In the time that people spend filming that video, watching that boy get beaten, going home to tweet about it, calling their friends to talk about it, 3 women were raped, 1 child was kidnapped. They probably came up with some type of plan to raise taxes on more things. 1 person was senselessly murdered, and I don't know, 3 more little boys decided were handed guns by politicians. Right there. But you're not paying attention to that. You are not paying attention to those things that are happening in the country because you are busy paying attention to there is this one gay man and we need to rid this particular iniquity from the country because that is when the country is going to function properly. Okay. Homophobia is being used to distract Jamaicans from the real problems that are actually happening in the country. And if Jamaicans continue to feel that by controlling the homosexual, they are somehow controlling the country and somehow making the country better, then they're not paying attention to all of the things that are making the country worse. It's a tactic. If people are constantly engaged in the petty business of burning out people who they disagree with on some strange, skewed, religious, moral, social ground, then they're not actually attending to the real social issues that are relevant to the development of the country. How many of you actually know what is going on with the IMF agreement? How many of you know exactly what is about to take place in the country if it is that this agreement actually passed, which it basically has? You don't know anything about that. That is of more relevance to the future of you, your ability to get a job when you come up with that same degree, your ability to raise a family in this country, and the crime rate which is going to continue to spiral in response to these new loan agreements. You don't care about that. What you care about is getting rid of this one batty man from UTECH. Open your eyes. Homophobia is being used as a means of controlling you and distracting you from what is important. Your homophobia is a kickback to colonialism when they've screwed with your mind and convinced you that black people were only entitled to one way of having sex. And every day black people have sex outside of that and prove you wrong, but you refuse to open your mind to it. And being homophobic will not make you better than any of the countries who have more money or power than us. It just means that it's going to be harder for us to get visas to get there. Finally, To the gay people, yes, I am daring to address gay people in this video. To the gay people who want to take on the boy and tell the boy that he bring it upon himself, and some of these gay people bring it upon themselves because they know that he's Jamaican and them know them shouldn't go on like that. Okay, fine. You know you're in a homophobic country. You probably shouldn't be having sex in a bathroom. When you were 18 and you did find somebody that you like, where is it that you did go and try a little thing with them? Not around one corner behind one building, not in a one bathroom. Gay men are not different from anybody else. You are have somebody, you know, why your parents know saying nothing with nobody, then you know, find a little public place to do it. You do it in a car. If you have a car, you go to your friend yard. If you have a friend yard, if you're a gay man, it's likely that you don't have any friends that you're out to, especially if you haven't even identified yourself as gay. You just know you have an attraction to this man. You don't have a friend yard you can go to. So you have to find a little place to do it because the same feelings what everybody else have, you have. So you're going to the bathroom, go do it. So why is it that you gay Jamaicans are acting like it is any different growing up gay than growing up otherwise? Them are going to do the same thing them what people are going to try to do. And yes, it is up to them to recognize where they are and try to be more careful. But somehow they need to address on a class privilege. You have the privilege of pushing key and going into your house and locking up in there and doing whatever you want to do in there. You have the privilege of having a friend circle who knows you're gay and is accepting of you, so you can go after them house even when you cannot go to your parents' house. You have the privilege of being able to spend money for go to a hotel, go to them something there. Some people don't have that privilege. So some of you rich gay Jamaicans who are making up noise about the boy and the gay community and how they call this down on themselves, please consider that very often you're speaking from a space where you are educated, you have a job, and you're out on your own. Your family either know or don't know, but either way you have your own space. You can do whatever you want to do. Remember that when you are speaking to other people. And also remember that while it is your job to try to function in the country and try to work around the straight people, it is not your job to basically act like you don't exist so the straight people around you are comfortable. And be careful that you don't become complicit in creating the same homophobia that you claim makes it hard for you to live here. That is all I have to say. I've gone on for, yes, this is a 16-minute rant. This is quite comprehensive. I don't really have anything else to say. As I said, anything what you want to say about me in response to this video, you are quite free to say it. I'm not trying to pick a fight with anybody, or I'm not trying to be combative, but I am telling you point blank that eventually silence becomes consent. And eventually not talking up on behalf of, not talking up about issues that need to be spoken about, you become a part of the problem. And for people who want to say that, oh, we have bigger fish to fry, that is somehow implying that after things get fine in Jamaica, then you can turn against the gay people and try to get them out. Well, I'm not really with that. There will be no frying of fish on my watch of any size. Goodbye. One last thing that I forgot to say. For people who feel that getting rid of gay people is somehow going to stop the spiral of inequity that is happening in the country, especially as it pertains to rape and people having sex with young children. A rapist is a person who has sex with people against their will. A pedophile is a person who engages young people sexually, usually against their will. A gay person is a person who has sex with people of the same gender. A gay pedophile is not a gay person, just as a straight pedophile is not a straight person. So please try to keep all of those things clear. So clearing out a person who has consensual sex with another person is not going to do anything for a person who is going to try to force sex on a person either way. And for people who think that somehow being a gay pedophile is different from a straight pedophile, I would ask you to have fun explaining that to your daughter. And especially for the women who are walking up and down saying that they would rather that their son become a raper than to become a batty man. If it is that something should happen to your daughter, please explain to her that you are the one who helped create that situation, so you can tell her that is essentially you helped rape her.